Let's go! Welcome everybody. It's Simon and Josh. Time zone and time meters. You obviously would know that because you're clicking links and seeing thumbnails and all of that stuff. But for those that might be listening to us and not actually looking, that's who we are. That's what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. We're talking about music. This month's music, as a matter of fact, and it's been a good one. I've listened to apparently 186 different artists this month, though. So I've listened to a lot of music and maybe not done as much deep diving as what I normally would do. But I think that's because I'm still coming off the Vola intensity and I just needed a break.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
It's
about
been
you?
yeah. I mean, it's been a special month for me because I've been off this whole month on parental leave. So I mean, I had a chance to listen to a lot of music as well. I gotta say though, like nothing new really did cut it for me. So I've been back in the past.
Yep.
I have been listening to some new releases, and I'm hoping maybe you will mention them and then I can chime in.
Yeah, sounds good.
But that's not where I've been spending my time with. And
Yeah.
if you didn't, I will bring them up. Yeah, I mean, sure. You know what? Do you want to go first with something?
No, you go first this time. I don't want to hog the limelight, friend.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, let's. I'm starting backwards chronologically because yesterday, like, there was one Peter Gabriel album, Peter Gabriel Genesis album that I had been waiting for to listen to, uh, that I hadn't listened to, and that's the classic. Well, I mean, they're all classics with a feature shape. No, they're not. The the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I hadn't heard, and I was like savoring this. Like I would wanted to listen to it the way it was meant to be, and so there was gonna come a 2025 remix or remaster from Abbey Road Studios of this classic double LP, and it kept on getting postponed, and yeah, now it finally happened. So I listened to it just a couple of hours ago, yesterday evening. It's now morning, um, and of course, it didn't disappoint. It's way darker, way. It's not
Yeah.
so whimsical as. It doesn't have those old musically whimsical stuff that
Yeah.
maybe Nursery Crime had, for example.
Yeah.
No, this one super. It also sounds good, with that. Of course, I can't compare it to the original, but yeah, I think it was worth waiting for, like a proper experience. So
Do you
that's what I did yesterday.
I was gonna say, do you have a favorite track? Like, was there anyone that stood out to you in this or
I think the title track, that's of course an immediate banger. On Broadway, yeah, I think that's a great opener. There's so many tracks though, even though a lot of them are just short snippets, and after what they added to this was also a live performance
hmm
of the lamp. So lamb, yeah, sounded great. I mean, and yeah, awesome stuff. Um,
this
yeah,
is the album that has the chamber of oh
31 Doors.
yeah, whatever it's called, right? Like that's one of my favorite songs by them of all time.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
absolutely adore that song. And so this album I'm a little bit
32
more
Doors, by the way.
32, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I can never remember numbers anyway. I'm terrible like that. Anyway,
I
um,
I tried to follow the story with this guy who sees a lamb on Broadway, and then he gets like sucked up into this big cloud uh, illusion vision thing, and it's pretty spaced out.
I think
Uh,
I don't know. I absolutely adored the Chamber of 32 Doors and quite a few of the other tracks. I think like I quite I quite like this album. For a Genesis one, this is probably one of my favorites, but I haven't listened to this remastered version that you're talking about, so I should actually look it up and have a good check it out. But I haven't listened to them in a while. Like this year, I'm just having a quick look on my stuff, and I've barely listened to this album at all. I did listen to them a bit in 2022, 2023.
Okay.
So a few years ago. But I mean, saying that, I've been meaning to dip back into some Genesis anyway. Maybe this is the time to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome.
Okay. Well, what did our modern progger listen to?
Well, I've been jumping around the place a little bit. I've just started listening to a few sort of things on my look. I've just started, and my plan is to go continue next month as well. But I want to listen to the Cardiacs have just released an album called LSD, and this is a band that I listened to sing to God, which is from a while ago. I think that's actually quite a while ago. But the Cardiacs are look, they're crazy. I don't know what to say. Like the Cardiacs are definitely a crazy like I don't know what band to me, and I've struggled to really get into them in the past. But I thought I'd chuck this on, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed it. I thought there was something about it that just seemed sort of more musically accessible to somebody like me. But look, for those that don't know, the Cardiacs are a band that have been around since 1977, right? And so they've been around for quite a while. It says here they're noted for complex, varied, and intense compositional styles, for their eccentric theatrical stage shows. They've been held as an influence by many newer groups and artists. And they've had around 23 musicians being part of the Cardiacs over the years. So there's a fair bit of stuff that goes on. It says here their music combined the excitement and energy of punk with the intricacies of technical cleverness of early British progressive rock, a combination sometimes referred to as pronk. PRONK. Although frontman Smith disavowed this classification, he insisted that they were just a pop or a psychedelic band. And to tell you the truth, based on my limited experiences of this band, they are psychedelic for sure. But look, here's the deal. I promised myself I would come back to this band because I think I listened to them very early on when it came to my progressive wanderings, and so because of that I kind of feel like maybe I just haven't developed like a good ear for that kind of music. So anyway, I'm going into this newer album, and I straight away liked it a lot more than the other ones that I've listened to, so I want to continue
That's
work.
always fun with a band that's been active for so long. I have to say that that's also a band that I have never really checked out. I mean, it should be said that I am basically, a modern progger. I've been for years and years, but it's like these last years that I've really been, turning into the old prog, and I can't unhook myself from it.
Mm.
So, that's why I am still discovering these classics, such as The Lamb on Broadway. And I could talk about stuff that I know about, but I'm of course obsessed with the stuff that I am discovering now. So that's why I'm talking about all this stuff that I actually do not know too much about. And sorry, that might be less informative because of that.
Dude, you don't need to apologize to me, and if anyone's listening and they have a problem with it, they can leave. Bye. Because it's just not that, it's just not what we're about, right? So I just want to be able to talk about anything, new experiences, old experiences, new bands, old bands, new experiences, all of the combinations of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, so I'm doing something that's sort of new but old.
Right, right. We've done some album rankings, of the discography rankings of different bands. Which of these bands' rankings do you think has the most views?
Are you trying to tell me not to rank our current rankings, but what other people might have gone to? I actually
No,
haven't looked.
no,
So you're
wait.
saying what's our most views?
There are
Is
commercially successful
Oh, right,
albums.
okay, yeah, like all 12 of them. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
let me think. Well, look, I think we started with Riverside, so it's going to be older. Um, but also we had less people watching then. I don't know, dude. Like, because obviously
Soen,
older means
Soen
more
is
time. Is it
Soen is our
really?
number one. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah. And of course, Soen ended on a sour note because neither of us and really enjoyed the last album they did.
Yeah. I wonder if that's because they've got something new coming up soon.
Well, they did release a new single
Yeah, yeah,
last
that's
week.
right. Did you listen to it?
I did.
Yeah, should we talk about this?
I mean, we can. I don't have too much to say except for I think that the relationship is over.
Oh wow. He's
Yeah.
just he's just he's just called them up and said, "Welcome to Dumpsville population, Soen," and then just hung
Yeah.
up.
I mean,
Wow.
I think it's more of the same vein. Yeah.
So I was in the car with a friend of mine, and she's not a big progressive music listener, and I chucked it on just to ask her what she thought of it. And her first, this is no exaggeration, the first thing she said was it reminded her of that band, and then she kept like she started naming like songs, and it was Nickelback.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I heard that, I then couldn't unhear that.
Yeah.
Um, I just couldn't unhear it, and I thought to myself like, I love this band, but yeah, unfortunately for me, I think look, I can see the direction they're going. I'm all for it. Like if that's what they're loving playing, if that's what's getting them excited, I like the Viva la Revolution kind of vibes. I love the push that they're doing. I really do want to support the band, as much as I can that way. But this is not music that I'm gonna go looking for and enjoy listening to multiple times. I might listen to a one off here and there and kind of bop around,
They're
but
competent. They have a. I mean, it opens very cool, super heavy riff, but um, I feel like it's putting on an action movie, and I actually want some story as well, and
yeah,
I'm not quite getting it. Yeah.
yeah. I would totally agree with that too. I think it's someone at their best have strong emotional drive. I like more complicated rhythm patterns, and I also like not just the formulaic. We're just gonna step into a quiet moment with
There was
Joel singing,
also a
and
little bit the thing like when I saw them live earlier this year, I
mm,
was kind of hoping a little bit that the new songs would click for me once I saw them live.
mm, mm,
But indeed, during the newer songs, I found myself a bit bored,
yeah,
actually.
right.
So yeah, but I
It's
mean, yeah,
Yeah, and so I think that's the way I kind of so look when it comes out if they when they release a new album I think I heard somewhere maybe next year or something I will definitely listen to it. I will be excited to listen to it just to explore it because of the impact I've had in the past. But for me, I would also be nervous. I would also be treating it with trepidation, and also probably just there'd be a little bit inside me kind of going, "Don't get your hopes up because
I'm
this is
gonna wait
probably
for
going to be the
what
same."
what you're telling me.
So it really is over. That's really is. He's hung up the phone and he's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we're
yeah.
gonna have to see other people."
It,
Yeah,
it was
okay.
it was also not a favorable month to release this. Like, look,
Mm,
of course, even Dream Theater released two live songs from their upcoming live CD, DVD, whatever, from a month from a show that I attended to this tour last year. So the same set list and everything from as the show I went to in Stockholm,
yeah,
but um, but then I was also like, yeah, yeah, I know this is that song. It was I didn't keep coming back to this release. It sounds fine, you know.
mm,
They don't do anything special with the songs though, so I
yeah,
guess that's maybe it. I've heard these songs 2,000 times before.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so indeed it was not favorable in that sense of them to release that, and other newer releases I didn't really pay attention to. However, I mean I discovered a lot of new music, not only The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Um, I really had this big click with Big Big Train with
yeah.
uh, uh,
Folklore was it?
yeah,
Yeah,
folklore, and I also checked out the albums prior and um, post this, so like two, three more albums. But folklore is the one I spent the most time with. Um, this guy, what's his name now? Well, the singer that apparently died in a traffic accident some years ago now then. And apparently their new singer is from PFM, the Italian band. I didn't know he came from there.
Right.
But yeah, Big Big Train, what a great band that I haven't spent enough time with.
It looks like I was just having a look at again my listenings. So folklore I have done,
Mm,
and I've listened to it like through twice. But I really like the title track, and so the title track I've listened to, I put it on a playlist somewhere. So that's where my ears go like, oh, I know that song, and then you're like, oh, the album, and I thought, oh, it was meant to go back to this.
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
so
yeah.
somehow they haven't. But this is a band that I dabbled a little bit. I did English Electric Part One, and a little bit of English Electric Part Two, and a few songs from. I just like picked a few songs from a few different places. It could have been on a playlist as well that someone made for me.
Mm.
But yeah, so this is a band that's on my to-do list. I think they're really talented. Hey, that
Yeah,
was my
yeah,
takeaway. It's like these guys
yeah.
are really talented.
Yeah, I feel of course this old singer has a lot of similarities with Peter Gabriel, but I think that it sounds a little bit like if he would have stayed in Genesis. You know, like there's none of that whimsical stuff from early Genesis. It's more, you know, uh, sensical or like more relaxed, like maybe the art rock of
Yeah, that's what I
Peter
was going to say
Gabriel
as
in
well.
the
Yeah.
80s, and but on the same time there's more focus on the instrumentalists, just like it had been in Genesis. I feel a little bit like if you imagine that Peter Gabriel would sing "Driving the Last Spike," that would fit in Big Big Train's discography a little bit, right?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I'd need
yeah.
to hear that song to know if I've heard it. But
The
I need to do more Peter
epic,
Gabriel.
the epic of We Can't Dance, or is it the one prior to that? No, I think so. Um, yeah. Also checked out, like discovered a bunch of other, spent time with Chicago and Toto and Kansas and
Yeah.
UK, uh, Mike Oldfield,
Hmm.
Summerillion that I hadn't listened to before, uh, and yeah. So yeah. Do you got something else?
Yeah, as I said, it was really varied. So I've continued listening to Ihlo. I'm not going to talk about them again. Other than to say, I'm still trying to work out, like, do I really like this band or not?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm not. It's not that I don't. I was having a conversation the other day. I really do think they tick all the boxes of modern prog metal for sure.
Hmm.
But I'm not obsessing or in love with this. And I'm now thinking like, what are the tracks? What are the songs? And I'm struggling to recall some of the stuff. And I've listened to it a bit. So just going to continue until I can have a full verdict on them. So I think they'll just be a back burner band for the rest of the year. This album, I think, has potential to be one of the best albums of the year. I really do believe that. But personal connection for me, that's what I'm just trying to like work out a bit because I like it. But no, anyway, I move on.
Yeah, I mean,
The
obviously, in the mode that I'm in right now, ILO doesn't do anything for me. But
Yeah,
the
but
thing that maybe suited me best of the new releases this month was, by the way, what we talked about before, the Carnival.
oh
Uh,
yeah, the single's
their
great. Yeah,
Yeah, what is it called now?
it's like
Azu, Azu,
yeah, Azusa or something.
Azu,
We'll just go. Hey, you say it with the Australian accent, bruh. Like you got this.
yeah. Let's see here. I
No,
actually
the while you're looking up the name, I think it's a Sosa or something.
Aozora.
Azora.
Aozora.
It's a
Azora.
banger, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
it's
first I
it's
didn't I didn't like how it started. Then I thought it was sounding a little bit like, I don't know, some a bit emo beginning 2000. But then they turn on the Tool riffs, like the
I'd call
it's
those
kind of the
carnival riffs myself.
sorry.
I'd call those carnival riffs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, we'll go to West for sure. But I love the track. I thought it was great, and I thought it was a return to form because I didn't like their last album as much, and I was a big fan of their first one. That's what got me into music that I love today. And their second album's one of the greatest I think ever made. So I really rank it so highly. I think it's a masterpiece, and this is definitely like a hybrid between the two. I think they're kind of skating between that sort of slightly maybe. I don't know if emo's where I'd go. Maybe a little bit more nu metal-y in some ways,
Yeah, I
and
think
then
like the way he was singing
yeah.
there, it just I'm just talking about this introduction of the song. I mean,
Yeah,
before it gets going, and
yeah.
then I was a little bit, am I gonna skip this or not? And then it kicks in, and I really enjoyed that.
It's funny because I played that song to my friend when we were in the car after playing them the Soen song when they made reference to Nickelback, and
Yeah,
and their first up comment was, "That's what I expect you to listen to." Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's a
yeah.
Josh song, and so I laughed
Mm.
at that and then turned it off because they go crazy when they listen to Josh songs, generally speaking. But anyway, but yeah, so I thought the difference was really pronounced, right, between the two in terms of just like composition, in terms of interesting songs, melodies, variances, changes, like real atmospheric breaks, and an understanding of how to
One was
do
proggy,
this.
one wasn't,
Yeah, one was a
So
little bit more
one was
corporate.
for the spreadsheet guys, and one was for
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's interesting as well. I've got so here's a band. This is an Australian band called they were the John Butler Trio. John Butler being the center person in the trio, but he's decided to go solo. So technically, I can just call it John Butler. It's just been I don't know. They class themselves as like a jam band, three guys with guitar, sort of percussion off their guitars kind of stuff as well. They've been pretty successful in Australia, actually. They've been number one, like quite a few times in more sort of commercial sort of things. So they're not prog, but they're definitely insane instrumentalists. And I think John Butler's a really, really fantastic virtuoso with the guitar, really. And so I've been meaning to listen to some of their stuff again. And when I found out that this dropped, I thought, oh, I might give it a go. And here's what I have to say. This is a really infectious album. It's really cool. It has instant appeal, but it'll probably be a flash in the pan. It's not that complex. It's not that like different. There's a fair bit of rhyming or repetition in it as well, which just means it'll hook you straight away. I've listened to it enough now to be able to go, yep, I'm kind of done with that, and that sits me in it. Let's have a look here. About 7 plays. So got to the stage where I'm going to leave it and park it here because I don't think I will want to spoil it. I think this is going to be one of those albums when it's like I need something that's maybe got melancholy vibes, but's quite positive in terms of like the tones, the style, it's kind of, I'm a big sucker for uplifting sounds that actually have like a somber message behind them. So whether or not that's like, so sorry, or, it's a commentary like I'm doing fine when in actual fact he's not, or like, that sort of thing. And so I kind of, I love I really like this, and I would recommend this to anyone who just enjoys music, but maybe not for the prog heads out there. I think it's probably a bit simple for them. If you want to check out something awesome, I sent Simon a video of this, didn't I? Which was the Oceans video, which is on YouTube. It's got like 4 million views or billion views or something. It's pretty successful, but maybe check that out. It's just an acoustic masterclass, and we should have put that in our virtuosity or
Yeah.
or musical masturbation clip because he definitely goes off on a tangent. What did you think of that clip? Actually, it's a good point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He plays pleasant guitar and he has skills. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. He doesn't sing in that one though, does he? No, he doesn't. So
No, not that I
so it
know.
means that you probably haven't heard him that way. I do have another album, but I want to leave this one till you talk a little bit more. Have you got other stuff to talk about, or?
Yeah, I got some other stuff because just like you, I am also enjoying my music digitally these days.
Hmm.
But the thing with physical copies is, of course, that you create these memories. You know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I bought this in this store. I came home with the album here. You know, I looked at the artwork. You know, those, um, which is also the reason why I guess vinyl has had this boom,
Yeah, this
because people
resurgence.
actually want that experience again, and even the people that never had, so like the younger generation that never had this experience, want it as well. So.
Mm.
And the thing is, since I switched countries, I've moved from one country to another. I basically got rid of all my stuff. So I had a record collection. I got rid of that, um, and now it's like, what do I do? Do I start over? I don't think so. You know, I'm not gonna
Mm.
buy hundreds of albums that I
And they're
once
so
before
expensive
bought.
now. They're so
It,
expensive.
a new album is expensive, but
Yeah.
if you look at the used ones, it's all right.
In
It's
Australia, I don't know if I'd be able to find anything from the stuff that we would listen to.
look. I went to the city.
Dude, you
I
live
live
in
in a little
Europe.
town. I went to a city in
Yep.
Europe yesterday, and the pretty small city, but they had several record stores. They had one that I've really enjoyed,
Yeah.
and they have new albums. The new albums are kind of expensive, but if you looked at the used, for someone who, you know, enjoys his 70s rock, used albums. Uh, so I actually ended up buying 3 albums.
Oh, come on
so
then. Give us a look.
so the first one, oh yeah, this is Brand X, Livestock, Livestock, Livestock. Yeah. And so this is, of course, Phil Collins' fusion band. This one is from '77.
Hmm.
So what I decided was I'm gonna buy albums that I haven't heard,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that I will have this proper experience that you get. You know,
Yep.
I haven't spoiled it with some digital streaming stuff, and but of course with stuff that I most certainly will enjoy. I mean, Brand X.
You
Yeah,
do own a record player, don't you?
I
You
I
know,
have
that
access
doesn't
to
work by
one.
just like scanning it with your phone or anything.
No, that's it's not an issue, but I have to fix. I have to fix it. um, I bought the Moody Blues.
Oh,
This
yeah.
album I actually never even heard of. Every Good Boy Deserves a Favor. This one is from '72, I believe, or '71. Uh, let's see, was '71. Nice, you know, holding open like that. Yeah, so I mean, it's a good era of music, '71. So and it's a good band. So I can only assume that I like this. Who knows? Maybe it's shit. But and the last one is kind of a classic that I haven't heard. So I'm most certainly sure that this is a good choice, and that's Focus, the biggest Dutch progressive band, uh, and probably their most famous release, Hamburger Concerto. Um, yeah,
I've never
which I
heard them.
actually to this day haven't heard, read a lot about. So I'm
Yeah,
excited. It's from '72 or '74 or
that's
something.
cool. Now I'm starting to get like album envy. Maybe I should.
74, 74.
Look, you know what I might do? Just for the people at home and you specifically, I might go to my local like shop that would sell these things and just
Yeah.
video what's like. I'll do like a clip on my phone and I might put it up on Instagram or something and just showcase the cultured music listeners of Australia. And you can find out what's on ours.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I bought all these album costed under 10 euros, so like under 10 US dollars or
Yep, 20
under
20 Australian or
20
something. Yeah.
Australian dollars, exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, and I figured if I do one album a week and I really enjoy this moment,
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's
that's
not
not
that
too bad.
expensive.
That's not too
No.
bad for
No,
for
people are paying like 100 euros for new stuff, right?
I mean, I saw new albums, new vinyls went for like 30.
Oh, really? I thought they were
Yeah.
heaps more than that. Wow. Okay. Well, maybe I'm going to go have a look. Because I thought we were over $50 here in Australia, easy.
Yeah, I don't know what the Australian market looks like. I mean, maybe shipping ruins that, but
Yeah,
I can a
maybe.
hard time imagining
Look,
that.
don't quote me anyone. I'll go have a look and I'll get back to you on that, and I'll die on that sword.
All right. Yeah, well, that's all I had. So
Yeah, okay.
hit me with your last choice.
So I got two. One of them called TWRP, which is TWRP, which is short for Tupperware Remix Party. This is like a synth pop
Why was
synth.
that name not taken?
Yeah, tell me about it. I got no idea. Look, they're from Canada. They're from Halifax, Nova Scotia. They're synthy, retro-y kind of. They kind of have a bit of a sci-fi vibe as well. Their first song's like this catchy. I don't know. It's a little bit theatre as well. Like a bit like you know how I was talking about Zio, how I couldn't quite put my finger on like what to call that band. Like these guys are in that realm. I first heard them from Notes Reviews, and I just noticed that Ian from Rhyme Signatures like has been listening to this one as well. It's a brand new album released in August 2025. And I just thought I'd give it a go. And look, it's early days. I've played it through maybe like 3 or 4 times. It's catchy. It's simple. It's not simple's the wrong word. It's catchy. It's got some funky stuff in it. They obviously have a bit of a personality. So I like the personality that's coming out on the record. And with a name like Tupperware Remix Party, I'm sure you guys kind of get a bit of a vibe for it. But I'm interested to see how this one will unpack. And the last one is I've finally bitten the bullet, dude. I've decided to check out Sleep Token.
Funny,
So,
I heard them for the first time, I think for the first time yesterday, actually.
oh really?
Yeah.
And you're a convert straight away?
No, I mean, I heard one track.
Yep,
It kind of reminds me a bit of, bands like Vola or
yep,
something like that. Like
yep.
they're like Vola's new album is a bit the same.
I promised myself that I'd give these guys a good go because they're so popular. I just wanted to get a bit of an idea of what they're like.
Mm.
I don't think it's revolutionary, but I don't mind a bit of hip hop. I don't mind the new soundscape sometimes, provided it's not dull music. I don't want the same repetitive like snare thing going on. There's for like a whole song with some guy like rapping in the background. But in saying that, I think these guys definitely fall into a progressive sort of like
Yeah.
category. Like they're varied. They mix it up. They change some things. I think the guy's voice is pretty good. I don't like the overproduction of the voice, like the stuff that we've spoke
It's
about in the
also a
past.
little bit in the same ballpark as Polyphia can go at sometimes, that they venture a little bit into some urban
Yeah,
direction. Yeah.
and I think that's like because I'm just for those that know of Sleep Token, I'm listening to Even in Arcadia, which is their most recent thing, and I know that there was quite a few people who said it was that we know that have said like that they weren't that big a fan, and so I will go back. I have listened to their other album, the one before it, maybe like once or twice, and my plan is to give it a good go as well. I wouldn't say I was Take Me Back to Eden was the album that I'd heard before. But anyway, so I think my plan is to actually just lightly touch on this band. So I've played them through like 5 or 6 times. This album, I'm done with it. I'll move on to another one. I can say that I quite enjoyed probably 2 songs from the album in bits, like
Okay.
in bits, and so it's
So
it's like nearly.
that's not an instant click.
No, and but the thing is it's how can I put it? It's like so the track was Emergence. That's definitely the better song, and I thought the very first one, which is I think what is the first? I think it's a Look to Windward or
Yeah, yeah.
something.
Look to Windward is
Yeah, I
the
think that
first
was
one.
okay as well. So I think it had a good opener, and then Emergence I thought was quite good too. The
The
rest of
one I
it,
heard was Getsemane, Getsemane,
yeah,
Getsemane.
I don't know if I've.
The penultimate track.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't played it by the looks of it. Um,
I can imagine that. I mean, it sounds a lot like well, a lot of new prog metal does sound like, and
It's got it's got a bit of gent. It's got some heavy stuff. He does heavy vocals occasionally. Kind of intersperses it with like soft vocals that are slowed down, and then they introduce like a quicker, more staccato kind of beat with with a rapper essentially, or some sort of a bit of a groove to it too,
it
which
is
I like.
definitely cool that this is hitting the charts, though. That I think is super fun.
I think that's what I most like about this is that even if I don't like the band, I think it might be introducing people into a smarter music, and not just smarter music, but you know what I mean. Like I am all about the feels, but far out. Like there's just only so many, chorus bridge, verse, chorus, bridge,
Well,
verse you can
I
listen
mean,
to.
the music that is hitting the charts is very, I mean, by per definition, almost formulaic.
Yeah,
Uh, but I mean, even more so these days than it was 20 years ago, or let's not talk about 40 years ago, or
yeah.
of course, 70s was a different ball game. But I mean, and so anything that kind of mixes up that formula a little bit is very welcome, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I think too. The only, I guess the big takeaway on the side is I wonder a little bit if it's, look, if somebody said, what sort of music do you like to listen to, Josh? And I tried to describe prog metal
Mhm.
and I explained everything that I like about it, this would fall into that category, but it's a lot, but it's not quite it. It's just like the headings are correct, but what the content within it's just slightly off. And so I don't know. I have to explore more before I can really truly like give it a rating. But to tell you the truth, like if you compared this to, let's rewind 20 years and look at what is popular in terms of, like the new metal generations and all of that kind of stuff, which was hitting the world. I'd much prefer to be listening to this than I would, Metallica from that time period, you
Same,
know?
same, absolutely.
So, I don't know. Like, it's interesting. But again, I'm not, I'm not sure. I ask questions about like AI as well nowadays with the emergence of AI technology sort of being able to create music. Like I think they're one step away from that. It's like they have a non-formulaic formula.
Yeah, yeah,
You hearing me? Like it's like I want this to be different. I want to do this. I want highs. I want lows. I want soft. I want heavy. I want shock factor. I want contrast. I want like all of these things. And if you just chuck that into an algorithm making device somewhere, maybe you can come up with it. I don't know.
yeah.
Or maybe just ask someone who's got some skill composing to create something for you. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna continue exploring the band, but I am moving off, which means this is not a record that I would regard as a heavily recommended one. But it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How many records do they have?
Dude, I
I don't
don't
know
know.
when they.
I've got, it says here that I've listened to at least one song from 5 different albums.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so it might be. I'll just quickly pull up the artist. It says British, they class themselves as a British prog band from London, formed in 2016, anonymous masked collective, led by frontman using the moniker Vessel. The band blend many styles, including prog metal rock, alternative metal rock, post metal, and gent. Let's have a look. Discography, they have 2 EPs and then 4 albums.
All right.
So, and their first album was released in 2019, so 6 years ago. So that's decent speed in
Yeah,
terms
which I
of,
think you have to have if you want to be commercially successful.
yeah, that's right. And look, that's the thing to mention, like for those that are listening, if you look at Sleep Toker's listeners on Last FM, and there's 726,000 people who have listened to them, and they've been played 124.9 million times. Whereas
Yeah.
TWRP has had 200,000 thousand people
Yeah,
listen to
yeah.
it and 7 million scrobles. So like,
I mean,
you
Sleep
know,
Token has almost 6 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
yeah, there you go. And if
It's
I go
insane.
to, I'm super interested in the John Butler trio because they're successful Australian. Yeah, they're 359,000 listeners and 6.9 million scrobles on Last FM. So I think, and these guys, they're not successful. How can I put this? They have had some success in Australia. So I think if you were to talk to your average person, they'd probably go like, oh, you know,
Yeah,
Zebra.
they can't stop working, is what you mean.
Yeah, that's right. Oh no, these guys don't work. John Butler
What? John
trio.
Butler?
John Butler
Yeah.
trio would be well off enough to not work.
I mean, also not making a new music.
Oh yeah. No, he needs to do that. I think. I think he'd be on the borderline. He probably owns a nice house. I got no idea. I should look this up. Please, I hope if he listens to this, please don't take any offense. I actually think you got mad skills, dude. I just don't know anything really
Send
about
us a
you.
picture of your house, John.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. I think he lived in America for a while. I think he disappeared, went to America, and then kind of lived a little bit of that lifestyle and decided to come back. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I mentioned TWRP, I mentioned Sleep Token. The other artists that I'm keen to check out, which I've only played through the album once, and that was enough to make me go, ooh, that's interesting, is Jack the Joker. Jack the Joker, I'd never heard of them before. I saw something online saying that they've released something this year. I decided to check it out. They're a prog metal band from Brazil. And because we've done the South American stuff in the past, I thought to myself, like, oh, that could be kind of funky and cool. So I've decided to jump on them. And look, at the moment, I was pretty happy with that. I'm just trying to have a look and see what's said or any classifications just for those that are around. Look, they fall under the progressive prog metal, heavy metal kind of category. So I thought they had some pretty cool riffs actually, and some sort of, it was a good sound. I just need to delve into it again to really see if it's worth listening to. But that's what I'm going to listen to next month as well. That I touched on this one.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up a record player today and deal with this for October.
Sounds like a good idea to me. I think I'm going to have a chill afternoon myself. I've got a fair bit on tomorrow, so I'm just going to relax, and I might listen to. I might actually chuck Jack the Joker on this afternoon and check it out and get back to you guys later about it too. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Thanks, Simon, for jumping on board today. It's always a pleasure, dude. And we'd love to hear what you guys have to say about our analysis of whether or not that Sleep Token, Jack the Joker, they could not be more different, really, in terms of like how many people listen to them, I think. But in saying that, this is why you can find me at Prompt Wanderer at Instagram, because I wander everywhere. And you, Simon, you can find him at Simon's Album Reviews if you want to get in touch with us or check out stuff we're listening to.
Should be called Simon's Album Discoveries or something. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
It's
I'm not going to change the handle.
No way. It's a great handle. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone. Peace out. We'll see you guys next time. Please click. If you sat through this, you have to like and subscribe. Must. Excellent. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.